We decided after dinner to check out the river that we had heard from several other hikers was risky to cross. Sure enough, the river was running high and the footlog had been damaged. Hikers were getting across, but we needed to evaluate the conditions for our own needs and abilities. After seeing the damage in the water levels, we decided that Honeymoon Meadows would have to wait for another year. It's now day 3 of our July 4th backpack. We had planned 5 days, 2 nights here at Diamond Meadows with a day trip on day 3 up to Honeymoon Meadows, which has been something that's been on my bucket list for years, and I know my sister's been wanting to do it for a while too. In fact, that's the reason why she planned this trip, was to get up to Honeymoon Meadows. But last night, after we set up camp and had dinner, we walked up to where we had to cross the river, and there's a footlog across it, but there's a huge crack in the middle of it, and a lot of branches on it. It doesn't even look like it's a proper footlog. It was rather weird looking, and neither of us are really that comfortable crossing it. So we went and looked at where you can ford the river, and it's running high. I mean, the river's running high anyways, and we knew that, and I just wanted to take a look to see what the ford looked like, so make sure we could get across it that way. We can't. Not us. There's another person in camp who's going to attempt it this morning, and people have been getting across, but we're just not comfortable doing it. So we're going to make today a 0 day. I'll probably put my camera on the tripod so I don't waste that weight, and take pictures of some of the wildflowers that are out and about. It is kind of not necessarily a gloomy day, but low clouds hanging over the mountain ridges and kind of touching the trees. It does look like there's some brightening, so it might burn off, it might not. But yeah, there's some really nice wildflowers to take pictures of, and we'll explore the area a little bit. With the day hike to Honeymoon Meadows postponed, we decided to hang around Diamond Meadows to photograph the wildflowers, birds, and greenery. We were serenaded by a song sparrow near camp. Flowers such as meadow, corydalus, vanilla leaf, and hooker's fairy bells lined the trail. We chatted with fellow hikers as they passed our camp. A few had made it over the river. Some were turned away. The anxiety I felt before the trip began to melt away as the day cooled into evening. I could see stars winking at me through the trees, wishing me a restful sleep. Happy July 4! We're breaking down camp and about ready to head out on the trail. We're going to go back down to West Fork where we spent our first night. And we know the trail coming in, coming out, and what I'm looking forward most of today is being able to walk under those rhododendrons just before we get to the confluence of the Dosewallips rivers. We left camp on day 4 to head back towards the trailhead. We arrived early enough to snag the coveted riverside campsite and quickly set up camp, then rested in our chairs, a luxury well worth the extra pound. Dippers and a varied thrush bounced along the river's edge on the opposite bank, snatching insects to take back to their nests. I wish I could say that 4 days in the wilderness was the remedy to my anxiety, but I still had a gentle unease, just underneath the surface of my well-being. Camp is packed up and we are heading back to the cars. 8 miles out, and 6 of that is on that road. But I am determined today to not complain about it. I want to continue enjoying this trip. I mean, at the beginning I had my trepidations, and I don't know why. I sat with my legs propped up on the makeshift bench in camp and realized that these legs and these feet have carried me over mountain passes, up mountains, through river valleys, along ridge lines, forests, and I can do this. Whatever had me nervous before the trip, I don't know, and it doesn't really matter. I got to spend time in the forest, in a land that I love, and I'll be coming back. It had been a year since I fell. This wasn't the first backpack I had been on since my accident, but I wondered if the upcoming anniversary had disturbed my psyche. I had been thinking of the events of July 2021 as I had just submitted an article about the fall and my recovery for publication. As we broke camp on our final day, I sat in my chair, stretched out my legs, and watched the river rush by. There were no answers in the river, nor in the trees above me. Just the knowledge that these legs, stretched out in front of me, carried me along the trails and sidewalks and would continue to take me where I wanted to go. I filled my lungs with the sweet scent of hemlock forest, swung my pack over my shoulders, and let my legs take me home.